We continue here today on ETB Extra at GoETBTigers.com on the ETB Sportsnet. Hello, I'm Mike Mika, the voice of the Tigers. We already talked Tiger baseball with the head coach Jared Hood as well as the player Josh Formington. Now we're going to move to Tiger tennis, and joining us here on the program is the tennis coach here at ETB. He's in charge of the men's and ladies program here at ETBU as ETB plays in the nice Veterans Memorial Tennis Complex courts on the north end of the campus. And Coach, before we talk about the teams, the men and the women, you have a graduate assistant, I believe, this year, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Who is that? I know who it is, but the folks listening might not know.
Yeah, Jeremy Rhodes. Perhaps many of y'all know him. He used to play for me. My first year and a half here he played.
So how much of a big help is he to you? What kind of responsibilities do you give Jeremy? I've seen him out on the courts during matches, running around, checking on things. So kind of some of his responsibilities as a graduate assistant for the tennis program.
I mean, you can't give him a whole lot of responsibility, but no, I'm kidding. He does a really good job for us. He helps obviously quite a bit with the coaching. I mean, a big responsibility is the driving. I mean, we're driving all over the state and got back at 2 in the morning this last weekend. He's over in the office right now stringing rackets. I think, Elizabeth Morton's over here. She's also does work study for us. I think we probably had 10 or 15 rackets that we've had to get strung this week before we leave, and that's a big part of it. Budgets were due this week. He happens to be working on his MBA, so he's quite good at numbers, and I can't even add 1 + 1, so he's big help on that. So. It helps with a little bit of everything. He really does, and is doing a tremendous job. And hopefully this will help him as he goes on into his career in the business world as well.
So one of the great things about being a student out of ETB, you can complete your eligibility and move into our master's program and become a graduate assistant, possibly in the sport that you played while here at ETBU. So just one of the benefits of coming to East Texas Baptist University. Well, Coach, let's talk Tiger tennis. The men's team as well as your ladies' teams will be playing in the Trinity Men's and Women's Spring Beat Invitational. Let's talk the men's team first. I've noticed on the schedule that they're actually in Austin while the ladies will be in San Antonio. How does that work out?
Well, I mean, speaking of Jeremy, I mean, luckily I've got a great graduate assistant, and he's going to take the men's team to Austin. And he's going to be playing Concordia over there at River, I think it's called River Place Country Club. They've got their own country club that they play at there. They don't have their own courts. And so as we're playing Trinity, I think of just about the same time that we're tipping off with them, that they'll be tipping off with Concordia. Actually, I think they start at 2. No, they start at 1 and we start at 2.
And then also on the same weekend, you play Texas Lutheran, the men's side as well. As they head to that match, what do you expect from your team?
Against Concordia, I think it's going to be a close match. That's one that we've got penciled in that we think we have a chance to win. They beat Mary Hardin Baylor 5-4. We lost to Mary Hardin Baylor 5-4. We felt, and that came down to the final match, so we lost in a super tiebreaker in the third set. So, that's one of those matches that could go either way. Even though they're a first-year program, they've got a lot of good recruits this year, and I think it'll be a close match. I'm just sick that I can't be there for that one. I don't like being torn between two cities like that.
Kind of share with our audience today some of the Tiger men's tennis team that you really have been impressed with of how much their game has improved over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, gosh, over the last couple of weeks, they've all grown quite a bit. I mean, I'm looking at I know we've talked about Connor, who was playing number 7 last year, is playing 2, but just as far as a couple of weeks, probably the biggest jump I've seen probably in the last 2 weeks, Cody Highsmith. Cody Highsmith, I mean, he just tore it up last weekend. I don't think he lost a match maybe until that last match he played against Southwestern. But he was still playing at a very high level, and I'm still seeing it in practice this week. I mean, he's getting every first serve in. He's not making any unforced errors out on the court. He's just playing. He's playing as well as anybody in the program right now. I feel like he's playing as well as our number 1 player, Tyler Tolopka, out there at this moment. And he's just a freshman. That's the exciting thing about it.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, a lot of rain in East Texas today, and rain expected to last through Friday. What does the tennis team do? Your courts are outdoors. How do you prepare for a match coming this weekend when you actually can't get out and hit outside because of the wet weather?
Oh, gosh. I mean, you can't really reproduce what a real match is like. It's very difficult to. Biggest thing is the conditioning, because it's really going to be an Ironman contest this weekend. It's going to be it's just going to be a survival contest, a lot of endurance. So we're we're doing a lot of conditioning in the gym, but it's a fine line there. You don't want to injure them. You don't want to get the shin splints. You don't want to get the pulled muscles. So, we'll probably resort a lot to the stationary bikes and that sort of thing today. We did some suicides in the gym. And then we resorted to what I used to do in high school and how I learned how to play tennis is hitting on the wall. I grew up hitting on the backboard out in Seminole, Texas. So we went out there and hit against the gym wall yesterday for about 30 or 45 minutes. And they worked up a pretty good sweat doing that. And I don't think not one of them beat the wall.
That's my next question going to be. When a tennis player plays the wall, who wins?
Yeah, I mean, you can't defeat it. So, and I asked them that question yesterday. I got some funny looks, but most of them got that joke. You can't beat that wall.
Visiting with Coach Jeff Bramlett, the head tennis coach here at East Texas Baptist University. The men this weekend at the Trinity Men's Spring B Invitational. They play matches in Austin against Concordia on Saturday and on Sunday against Texas Lutheran. Their next home match is not until March 24th as they will host in Belhaven on a Thursday at the Veteran Memorial Tennis Complex here on campus. Now let's move to Lady Tiger Tennis. In just a moment, we'll be visiting with Elizabeth Morton, one of the members of that Tiger Tennis team. 8-0 start. That's pretty amazing. And for the very first time in Tiger tennis history, since they rebirthed the program 5 years ago, the Lady Tigers find themselves ranked nationally. That's a pretty nice little feat for your team.
Yeah, it's a pretty big turnaround. I mean, to think this is my second full year here, and this is my third spring to be coaching here. And I know that first spring we finished, I think, 7th out of 12 teams, and that was a big jump. That's the highest we'd ever finished. Then last year we finished 2nd in the Eastern Conference. We're divided into an Eastern and a Western, but we did not start off well at all last spring. We had all freshmen and a lot of new faces in the lineup, and if I remember correctly, I think we started off maybe 0-7, and we just couldn't figure out how to win, and we were struggling in doubles before we righted the ship, and I believe we've got our record up to maybe 7-7 before we had to go into the conference tournament before we maybe lost. But maybe we actually got a winning record, got up to 8-7, 9-7 before we played Mary Hardin Baylor and lost to them in the conference tournament. So now to see where we are right now and be 8-0 and nationally ranked, that's pretty amazing. I still feel like it's a dream in a lot of ways. It's very, very exciting. Very, very proud of the women's team.
Lady Tigers are ranked 37th in the nation according to the latest ITA poll, and those folks to the west of us called UT Tyler, their team is at 36, but we've got some matches against them, and maybe that might change a little bit, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be settled on the court. And that's the way we'd prefer to do it anyway. I mean, we defeated some teams that early in the year were ranked ahead of them. We beat University of La Vernia that was ranked 23rd in the country. So, if they went off that, we technically maybe could have been ranked ahead of UT Tyler, but from a coaching standpoint, I just seen our team remain hungry, and I just seen just sneak in through the back door and just let them think that they're better than us, and keep like I say, our team hungry and settle it on the court when we play them in April 9th. I just happened to have that date memorized here on our home courts, and hopefully we have everybody out here for it.
Talking Lady Tiger tennis here on ETBU Extra. Let's move on and talk about the match that's coming up this weekend. Women playing in the Spring B Invitational hosted by Trinity. You're in San Antonio. First up Saturday is Texas Lutheran in an early morning match, 10 a.m. And kind of what you expect from your team as you head to the San Antonio area.
Well, I mean, I expect nothing less than great effort like they have. They've had just a great determination to win. They just have refused to lose, and they've really pulled together and shown a great heart and great grit in each match. So I expect that. We've still not hit on all cylinders where every single person plays their best tennis, and we want to peak at the right time, obviously in April. This maybe would be a good time to start peaking this weekend, because when we get back, we're going to start hitting conference play. We played, Belhaven, who I think is ranked top 20 in NAIA. With TLU, that's going to be a really hard match. Kayla's got Sophia, who won the ITA tournament 2 out of the last 3 years, and we'll have them in singles and doubles as well. I know they had a Division I transfer from Texas State. If she's in the lineup, the top 3 girls they're as good as anybody there is, and then they only have an hour turnaround and have to play Trinity, who just beat Southwestern 9-0. and Lutz, who plays number 1 for them, she was had a 4-hour match against TLU, and was just within a couple of had match points to be in the finals of the ITA tournament, and then their number 1 doubles actually defeated us in the finals of the ITA tournament. So not only are we going to have tough matches up top in the lineup with a lot of national rankings on the line, but every single girl in our lineup is going to have a tough match, 1 through 6 in the singles and 1 through 3 in the doubles, and with a very, very quick turnaround. So there's going to be no rest for the weary in that match.
It's a big test this weekend for Lady Tiger tennis as you play Texas Lutheran and Trinity all on the same day. And then you got a match on Sunday as well against Gustavus Adolphus.
Yeah, against Gustavus Adolphus.
Gustavus, okay,
yeah,
thank you.
I was telling Adam earlier, I just like saying that word, Gustavus Adolphus. But, yeah, they're typically a perennial nationally ranked team. I'm sure that they're going to be a highly regional ranked team when the rankings come out this week. But, that's going to be we're probably going to have a lot of sore young ladies after the Saturday and have to get up Sunday morning and play that team. So that's going to be a real testament to their will in that. We're going to have some real quality tennis to come away with some wins this weekend.
Well, Coach, we'll give you the final word before we let you go here today on ETBU Extra. Any final thoughts, words?
Go Tigers.
Go
Inspirations.
Tigers. All right. Well, Coach Bramlett, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And always a pleasure to visit with Coach Bramlett and talk Tiger tennis. Well, coming up next, we'll talk with one of the Lady Tiger tennis members of the team. We're talking with Elizabeth Morton. That'll be next on ETBU Extra. Also still to come on ETBU Extra, so don't go away. We're going to talk Tiger track and field as well. Back in just a moment on the ETBU Sports Net.